This is Sunset News, your daily evening news show on network television. As always, we have news, stories from the community, economic indicators, weather forecast, and sports. I am Aina Raiza Kweyom. Now, in the news tonight, viewers who want to understand what the Ocavango River stands for in terms of environment and biodiversity and what it means in terms of livelihoods for Angolans, Namibians and Botswana who live along the banks of this river that starts in Angola and ends in the Ocavango Delta need to watch the movie Into Ocavango. This movie can still be viewed until the 18th of May for free by accessing it via the Facebook site of the Ocavango Wilderness Project. The documentary is brought by National Geographic and allows for an independent insight into what is known as the Ocavango River in Angola as it flows down to Namibia, where it becomes the Ocavango River. It might explain to laymen why an intrusion by humans who want to engage in gas and oil exploration in this area is simply a no-brainer. In our next story, a chanting crowd gathered outside the Windhoek Magistrate Court in Katutura this morning ahead of the first appearance of Namibia Economic Freedom Fighters Commissar for Economic Development Michael Amushelelo and affirmative repositioning activist Dimbulukeni Nuyoma, along with 6 others. They were arrested in Windhoek on Friday amid police and Namibia Revenue Agency raids of counterfeit goods. Amushelelo is being charged with assault by threat, incitement to commit violence and public violence, while Nuyoma faces incitement to commit violence and public violence charges. The state objected to bail for both, citing the seriousness of the charges, the investigation being at the primary stage, and the fear of interference with the investigation, after which the duo brought a formal application for bail. This case was postponed to the 5th of July 2022. Moving right along to our next story, another wildlife and livestock theft syndicate has been uncovered in the Ocho area. At least 3 gemsbok were slaughtered and hundreds of wire strips removed in the area, according to social media last weekend. A joint anti-poaching operation was carried out on farms west of Ocho to near Korijas by Namibian police, farmers in the areas and the Nyime anti-poaching unit. Moving right along, cancer care technology has rapidly advanced over the past 2 decades, and it has changed the way cancer care is approached. Unfortunately, concurrently with these advances, there has also been a drastic increase in the demand for cancer care as the number of people diagnosed with cancer continues to rise at an alarming rate. In light of the increasing demand, the Namibian Oncology Center has opened a branch in Kommersdal, Windhoek, boosting one of the most versatile and technologically advanced radiotherapy treatment modules in the world. The center provides state-of-art radiotherapy treatment to patients from all walks of life with a variety of both malignant and some non-malignant diseases, with the aim of restoring hope through compassionate care. According to NOC General Manager Anthea van Beek, the center has signed a memorandum of understanding for the center to treat state referral patients from the Ministry of Health and Social Services. Moving on to our next story, irregularities of probable fraudulent payment and tax evasion involving 12 million Namibian dollars belonging to the government institution pension fund has been reported to the Namibian Financial Institutions Supervisory Authority and Public Accountants and Auditors Board. The money was invested in Amazing Kids Private School and Academy for the construction of its northern campus. The school's external auditors, Mac and Associates, reported to PAAB, as required of all registered auditors in the country, alleged irregularities in the Mighty Growth Capital conduct with regards to the monies it was investing on behalf of GIPF in the school. Moving on to our next story, the Agricultural Ministry has refused to entertain an unsolicited bid from the Agroeconomic Producers Association of Namibia, affiliated to the Namibian Agricultural Union, to manage the Agricultural Business Development Agency Green Scheme in the north, saying a public bidding process is necessary to appoint any bid. The APA recently made a bid to the ministry, saying the current unrest between Ukraine and Russia could lead to wheat shortages, given Namibia's position as a net importer of wheat. In community news tonight, we visit the Omba Gallery as well as the Ausenker Primary School when we return shortly after the break.
Adam Tas is coming to Windhoek to help build a brighter future for education. Join us at the Sounds of Caring concert at Windhoek High School Vegkop on 20 and 21 May, where he will be performing with Von Arends and Rian Smith. Tickets cost $200 Namibian and are available via eticket.my.na. All proceeds go towards the African Child Development Trust.
Happy Monday. Now, in Community Talk tonight, if you are feeling crafty and see yourself creating something new from something old, the Omba Gallery offers you the ideal opportunity. Let's have a look.
The Omba Gallery in the capital has extended its design challenge that was recently launched. The idea behind it is to stimulate new craft products from fun, funky, functional products made from found objects. In light of this, the Omba Gallery has invited all creatives to submit ideas and prototypes of new products that are created from something old, be it corporate gifts, home decor, homeware, fashion accessories, or anything else interesting that could capture the imagination of local or international buyers. The Omba Gallery said that products should have marketing potential either as a once-off commission or as items that can be mass-produced. The Omba will create marketing, promotional and sales opportunities for selected products at the Namibia Craft Centre and via their website. The top 3 most marketable products, chosen by a secret vote, will be eligible for prize money. The final selection will be showcased at an exhibition at the gallery in July this year. The new deadline for submissions of expressions of interest is noon on Tuesday the 31st of May. For info, send an email to craftcentre@iway.na.
The principal of the Ausenker Primary School, Susanna Kadikwa, chats to Monique Adams about the Ausenker Volunteer Project.
We are running a project since 2019. And it is the Ausenker Volunteer Project. This social educational commitment was initiated and carried out by the German Foundation, Kindervorden Zukunftsstiftung, and the Directorate of Education, Arts and Culture in the Garas Regional Council. In September 2019, Maike Reinhardt, the project manager, visited the 6 schools alongside the Orange River. After consultations, negotiations and planning, it was decided that they will start the project at the Ausenker Primary School, and we received our first team of volunteers in October 2020. The target group of this project are the grade 1 to 3 learners, and the main tasks is teaching life skills education through afternoon workshops, and student assistance in the classes as well as the local clinic. There is a definite improvement in learners' performance since the inception of this project. It also gives a radical healthy boost to self-confidence and self-esteem of the learners. Learners with special needs have been empowered through individual sessions or sessions in smaller groups. Possible future developments, which include the building of a media center, a library in the near future. And it's definitely something great.
In our story of the day, we talk about satire and politics. Stay with us.
Choose your flex package with Paratus today. Sign up for ultra-fast fiber with the convenience of mobile LTE. That's 2 products in 1 bundle. It's new, it's 1 bill, and you can stay connected in more than 1 location.
For more information, visit paratus.africa/NA.
Always prepared. Paratus.
Thank you for staying with Sunset News. Now, George Omari talks satire and politics and shows us his first video of collecting money for the fish rod accused. Yolanda Nell talks to him.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we are talking to George and we are talking politics and satire and getting the youth involved. And thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Quickly tell us, you have the Daily Dissonance on Facebook. Tell us more about this.
Okay, so the Daily Dissonance is a political satire show that aims at showing the failures of government and also finding solutions to problems that Namibians face daily. So some of our thematic areas are gender-based violence. We look at issues of corruption. We look at the gender wage gap and also the plight of marginalized communities such as the San and the Himba within Namibia.
For the Daily Dissonance, you made a little video and you were asking the public for donations for the fish rot accused. Tell us about your aim with this video.
Okay, my aim was to show the hypocrisies that we have, right? We don't know if these guys are guilty. Oh, okay, they haven't been found guilty yet. Let's say that. I mean, so they've been inside for so long, and the little murmurs, like sympathizers, but no one was vocal about it. So we said, okay, let's secretly record people and go out, solicit funds, see who will help and who wouldn't or who would be offended by it. So with a lot of the footage you see is different mixed reactions.
Yeah.
So
Here is a short clip of the video and go to the Daily Dissonance Facebook page for the full video.
oh, hello sir.
What is that, man?
We're raising money for the fish rod 6 for the lawyers. The lawyer fees are becoming too much for the guys, man.
There's already no money.
Huh? You don't want to help the guys?
They've eaten enough.
Huh? They what?
They've eaten enough.
They ate enough.
Yeah.
But it's 3 Christmases now where they didn't. Come on, guys.
They can stay there, man. It's okay.
Yes, man.
For what?
For the fish rod 6. For their lawyer fees. You know, they're saying that the fees are becoming too much. Really? Oh, thank you, man.
The fees are becoming too much?
No, they're saying the lawyer fees are becoming too much, man.
Hey. Okay. Is it now for the guys who are inside or just for the government?
For the guys who are inside.
For the guys who are inside. They need lawyers.
Yeah, no, they have lawyers, but the fees are, you know.
No, obviously, because you have to pay them as the court is going. You have to pay
exactly.
daily.
You know, and then the only people who are smiling are the lawyers, man. So I just wanted to do my part to say I want to help the guys. And you did your part, my brother.
No problem.
Thank you, man.
In economic news, after the break, we talk wheat prices worldwide and we also bring you economic indicators. Thank you very much for joining Sunset News this evening. Now, in our economic news, India banned wheat export on Saturday after just saying it was targeting record shipment this year, as soaring wheat curtailed output and domestic prices scorched at an all-time high. Global buyers were banking on supplies from the world's second biggest wheat producer after exports from Black Sea region plunged following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Now, before the ban, India has aimed to ship around 10 million tons this year. Although it is not one of the world's top wheat exporters, India's bans could drive prices to a new peak given the already tight supply, hitting poor customers in Asia and Africa particularly. And now let's have a look at our economic indicators. The Namibian dollar is up against all major currencies and trades at 16.24 to the US dollar and at 19.87 to the British. On the commodities market, gold trades at 1,807.80 cents per ounce and Brent crude oil trades at 111.15 cents per barrel. Now, after the break, we will join the stargazers and look at the blood moon. Stay with us. Thank you for watching Sunset News, and here is international news. Stargazers have been treated overnight to a stunning and unusual sight, a super blood moon. Shortly after 3:30 GMT on a Monday, Earth's orbit meant that for several minutes our planet was positioned directly between the sun and the moon. In that time, the moon fell completely into Earth's shadow, temporarily running it a dusky shade of dark red. Its hue was created by sunlight being projected through Earth's atmosphere onto the moon's shadowed surface. The lunar eclipse coincided with a separate event, a supermoon. This is when the moon is at its closest point to Earth in its orbit and so appears larger than usual. Those watching out of the resulting super blood moon got the best view from 3:29 GMT, the moment the full lunar eclipse started and the event became visible in the Western Hemisphere. For almost 1.5 hours afterwards, the only sunlight reaching the moon had passed through the Earth's atmosphere, turning it red. In Europe, the phenomenon was only visible for some of the time because of the moon beginning to set, but in the American areas, under clear skies were treated to the full spectacle. Now, in our next story, since 2012, armed groups have sought to unseat the democratically elected government, which has been overthrown twice in 2 years by the military. Mali is pulling out of the multinational international military force in West Africa's Sahel region combating an armed rebellion, the country's military government has said. The statement by Mali's military government, which overthrew the President Ibrahim Keita and took power in a 2020 coup, blamed a lack of progress in the fight against armed groups and the failure to hold recent meetings in Mali. The move further isolates Mali, which has also been slapped with sanctions from West Africa's regional political bloc, hitting jobs and industry in the impoverished country. And it comes as French sentiments continue to rise in the country, even after February announcement of the withdrawal of French troops in the Sahel state. Now we'll take a look at tomorrow's weather prediction after the break. A very warm good evening to you, and thank you very much for watching Sunset News. Now we bring you tomorrow's weather prediction. Enana will be the hottest place in Namibia at 38 degrees tomorrow. The temperature for the capital varies between 12 and 27 degrees. In the west, the central coast varies between 12 and 22 degrees. Keetmanshoop at 5 degrees will be the coldest in the country, and Marienthal at 31 degrees will be the hottest in the south. Now tonight in our sports sections, we bring you football, netball as well as cycling. Stay with us. This is Sunset News, and we are bringing you sports news. Attempts to have Namibian football resurrected have been bolstered after the Confederations of African Football President Patrice Motsepe visit to Namibia. President Patrice Motsepe has urged football administrators in Namibia to unite for the sake of football in the country. The CAF president, who was addressing members of the Namibian football during a closed-door meeting, reminded those in attendance no one is bigger than football. The meeting, which was marked the first time the Namibian Premier Football League and the expelled Namibian Premier League sat at the same table, is said to have a signal light at the end of the tunnel for the beautiful game. In our next story, Commerce Netball Region Chairperson Dimitri Bitler has heaped praise on the netball team that have continued showing up to the games. The Super 10 First Division and the Second Division matches took place at the Wanderers Sport Field in Windhoek over the weekend. It's always something special that one has to applaud the way teams have committed themselves towards the game. It is not easy for the players and teams. The fact that they are showing up and playing fine netball is very impressive, Bitler said. Gerard Mans Jr. and Curtis Liebenberg were in a class of their own at the Holland Gravel and Dirt Eagle Ride and Run that took place at the Ochiwa Safari Lodge. Now, we'll be right back after the short commercial break with our highlights. If you are just joining us, or perhaps you've missed some of our top stories, rather, here are the highlights. Viewers who want to understand what the Ocavango River stands for in terms of environment and biodiversity and what it means in terms of livelihoods for Angolans, Namibians and Botswana who live along the banks of this river that starts in Angola and ends in the Ocavango Delta need to watch the movie Into the Ocavango. A chanting crowd gathered outside the Windhoek Magistrate Court in Katutura this morning ahead of the first appearance of Namibia Economic Freedom Fighters Commissar for Economic Development Michael Amushelelo and the affirmative repositioning activist Dimbulukeni Nauyama, along with 6 others. Those have been our stories right here on Sunset. Thank you very much for spending your evening with us. We'll be right back tomorrow, same time, same place. My name is Aina Raiza Koyo. Good night.